Icon Digital, founder of Asterisk Media, PJ Lee, who's going to be chatting with us about digital production trends. It's a great guest today, so stick around for that. But first, I want to remind you guys, this is a live show. And because it's live, it means we get to interact. So if you have questions throughout the show, if you want to ask us about any of our products, or if you have questions for our guest, don't be shy. Put your questions and comments right in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer them live here on the show. Want to get through some news right here at the beginning of the episode. We've got a new firmware update for Webcaster X2 that came out this Monday. It's firmware update 2.8. Now, I know some of you had been asking about this on Facebook, so I wanted to let you know what that release entails. So we've got better compatibility with PAL cameras. So if you're using 25 or 50 frame per second cameras, you might have a better compatibility with Webcaster X2. And also, very cool new feature, Webcaster X2 now supports 1080p, sending a 1080p stream to Facebook. Now, should let you know, Facebook actually doesn't display 1080p yet, but that should be coming in the near future, and Webcaster X2 will be able to do that. Next, wanted to mention, last week we touched on this, but Vimeo Live was released last week. So this is very exciting, another platform for live streaming. We're going to have a lot more news coming for that in the future, and we're going to ask our guest today about that as well. Lastly, NAB New York coming up very soon, October 18th and 19th. We will be there. Epiphan will be have a booth at NAB New York. So if you want to come and meet the team, try out some of our products, ask us questions, we'll be there. We'd be happy to meet with you and connect. So watch for that. We're excited about it, NAB New York. Last thing I wanted to mention, we have something very exciting on the Epiphan website. Lisa, maybe we could go to picture-in-picture with me for a second. I'll just show this. So we now have a community forum on our website. This is going to be a great place to discuss Epiphan products, to chat about live streaming, to share your experiences, share your live streams. We'd love to see them. This is going to be a great resource for all kinds of different things. If you have technical questions, you can ask them here, and our team will be on the forum as well and happy to interact with you there. So if you want to go to the forum, it's epiphan.com/forum, and looking forward to seeing you there. So once again, I wanted to remind you, this is live, so if you have any questions, don't be shy, throw them into chat, Facebook or YouTube, or you can email us live@epiphan.com, and we'd be happy to answer your questions live here on the show. Now, without any further ado, I wanted to go ahead and introduce our guest today, very special guest. He is the founder of Asterisk Media. He is the president of the new division at Icon Digital Productions. PJ Lee, welcome to the show.
Hi, Dan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here. So I wanted to just sort of tell people a little bit about you. You have over a decade of experience working in video production. You're a producer and director. You've worked with national brands and agencies creating commercials and digital content, as well as live event productions. So we're really excited to have you here and get to know you a little bit more on the show. But I also wanted... Oh, well, thanks for being here. I also wanted to show something. I know very exciting thing happened for you recently, as I understand. You recently became a father, and I wanted to just congratulate you on that and show also, I've got a picture here. Why don't we show it, Lisa? We've got a little picture-in-picture here. So this is Charlotte. This is your new daughter.
She's quite cute. She's got me wrapped around her little finger, that's for sure.
Well, look at those eyes. What a cute baby you've got there. I'm sure that you're lacking some sleep, but congratulations on that. It's a big thing. So congrats, PJ. So why don't we dive right into it? I wanted to get some of your expert opinion on a variety of topics, but I wanted to start out by just sort of asking you, for viewers who maybe aren't familiar with the industry that you work in, maybe you could tell us, what are digital productions and how has the sort of video production landscape evolved over the past few years?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we started Asterisk about 6 years ago, it was a real inflection point, I feel, on how media was being produced and how it was being consumed. So really at that point, video online was really starting to take off. Compression was getting a little bit better. The ability to upload content was getting better. So really what we did was we developed our expertise in that. But what that meant for brands was that they were taking parts of their broadcast budget, shifting it into digital, and there was a need to communicate with the audience more consistently. And what that meant was we needed to be able to produce high quality, high frequency content, and to be able to have that expertise all in-house.
Fantastic.
So really, I think how the industry changed was, now brands are having to do more with less, and we really need to be creative on how we're creating that content.
So I want to ask you about that a little bit more, actually. You work with a lot of recognized brands, a lot of creative agencies in Toronto, which is sort of the media hub of Canada. I'm wondering from the perspective of your clients, what are some of the challenges that they're facing and trying to adapt to right now?
Well, as always, it's the ability to convey a message, right? And to be able to do that in a different way, in a way that's engaging, and really to be able to, grab hold of the audience with meaningful content, and obviously to do more of it more often to cut through the clutter.
Very interesting. So I wanted to ask you, PJ, about live streaming. I know that you have experience delivering a variety of unique live streaming projects. And I wanted to ask you, is this something that brands and agencies are starting to recognize and ask for more often? What are you hearing? Is this a growing trend?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a growing trend. For us, it happened, I think, the beginning of last year. I think I would probably attribute that to the platforms, Facebook Live and Google. With live streaming, it opened up a whole new set of opportunities for us, because when we're looking to create content for a client, it's not just necessarily short form content, it's not necessarily long form content, but we're trying to find the right way and the right medium to really get that message across, and that changes depending what they're trying to do.
Very interesting.
I definitely think live streaming is something that's going to continue to grow, and we're definitely going to continue investing in it as well.
So let me ask you, from a brand or an agency perspective, what is the value of live stream? What differentiates it? What is it about live streaming that is valuable to your clients?
Yeah, I think right now what's valuable to the clients is what's valuable to the audience. So I think the audience right now, they're looking for authenticity. They're looking for something new. They're looking to be able to connect and engage with people or events that they wouldn't have access to otherwise. Some of the biggest things I've seen is just the ability to be able to communicate. Let's say we did this project with Pampers and the Baby Gang, and the Baby Gang, it's their family, and they have a great following on Facebook, and they give tips about being a mom and a dad and raising a family and that sort of thing.
I'm actually going to just show you a little bit of that live stream that you did here with the Baby Gang. Lisa, maybe we could go to a picture-in-picture. So maybe you could go into a little bit more detail about how this project came about and what happened there.
Yeah. So Dan, and really what we saw was we were able to give the audience a connection to these people and ask them questions directly. And what that did was, it showed authenticity.
So you get to see it's almost like pulling back the curtain and kind of seeing behind the scenes of what's happening in the Baby Gang home. Yeah,
exactly. And you're able to interact with them, ask them questions, and the audience really likes that. Another thing too is, live stream is great because of the algorithms that Facebook and YouTube are using, prioritizing live stream because it's happening right there and right then, and we're seeing great results from that.
Okay, very interesting. So I wanted to ask you, what are some tips that you would give to, companies or brands or people who are looking to, market whatever it is that they're doing? What are some tips that you could give in terms of how to actually take advantage of live streaming and to get started?
Yeah, so, one of the key things is live stream is a great add-on, okay? So, you're able to, take a live stream, put it on top of a campaign that you're actually doing to increase your reach and your engagement. So, one way to do that is hypothetically you're throwing an event. Why not live stream it? Why not share that special moment with the audience and then engage with them? Another cool thing is gated content. So if there's content that you have access to that you either want to reward your audience with, or you wanted to offer to specific users or people in the audience that you're targeting specifically, then you can do that.
Very interesting. That's a great answer. So I wanted to ask you, maybe you could give us some more examples of projects you did. I know you recently did a pretty big project. Well, might not have been a big budget, but a relatively small budget project with McDonald's that had big results. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So our director of technology, Anil Mahabir, he worked with McDonald's to basically take a very simple concept, and that was to film French fries being fried at a local McDonald's for National Friday. But what that did was it took something that everyone likes. It's honest.
I love McDonald's
it's authentic.
fries.
Who doesn't love French fries, right? And we basically did a live stream of the fryer frying them.
So how long did this live stream go for? I think it looks like a couple hours.
Yeah, it was a couple hours long.
And the camera was just locked off the whole time?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. We also did it on a phone as well for Instagram. But the main stream was just a lock-off camera.
Very cool.
But the results were really great. So I think we had around over 500,000 views on Facebook. The shares were around 1,000, I believe. But there were thousands of likes.
And
another thing too about that is we actually tried to do it in a new and a different way. So we actually showed it on these giant, hundreds of foot screens in our city center in Dundas Square.
Okay, so Dundas Square, maybe for those who don't know, you could tell us what is Dundas Square?
Yeah, so Dundas Square would be the Toronto equivalent to Times Square in New York. So it's a city center place where there's a bunch of billboards everywhere. There's a bunch of screens displaying ads, that sort of stuff.
So you had this live stream coming right out of a local McDonald's fryer and going to 100-foot screens in the city center. That's pretty cool. And I also see here there's thousands of comments that were coming in on this. McDonald's must have liked that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's, and that's what you want, because you want to be creating content with people and delivering it to them and seeing that they care or that you're delivering the right and relevant message. And that's a good indicator of that.
Excellent. So let's jump ahead here. I wanted to ask you another question. You were talking about digital screens and sending live streams out to different locations on digital screens. And we had talked about this a bit before. I'm wondering if maybe you could go into a bit more detail. Maybe tell us some of the trends that you foresee in the near future as far as live streaming or digital production.
So for me, right now we're able to see live streams on, the devices that matter. Your phone, you're able to take it with you on your laptops, that sort of thing. But what I'm really interested in is seeing it where it goes for, outdoor advertising, on billboards, that sort of thing. If you think about, if we were at a resort in Hawaii, let's say, and we're doing an ad for Hawaii, why not show that, and who knows where that could go.
Yeah, I could imagine seeing a giant billboard, and rather than just seeing a photo of the beach, you could be watching it live. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's other really great use cases and opportunities for live stream on different sorts of screens, and focusing them in specifically on the area or the environment that they're in and making it relevant to them.
Very interesting. So I know it's a big day for you guys. I can hear some action happening in the background. You're setting up I understand you're at some kind of event space right now, and that you have a big event happening tonight. So maybe you can tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so right now I'm actually sitting, the backdrop is our VR booth. and we're launching our new company today. So this is a huge day for us. Asterisk, which is 6 years old, had been acquired by Icon Digital Productions.
Cool.
Yeah, Icon, we're a leader in visual communications, multiple facets. So that's large format print. If you think about, when stadiums redesigned the interiors, printing walls, stairs, everything like that, digital signage, and now content and events.
So I think that's a nice pairing, really, and very interesting pairing. You're coming from sort of the video production world, digital media world, and joining up with a team that does a lot of location-based media. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, we think the future is really bright. When I was talking with one of the founders and the CEO, we really looked at how our complementary strengths could really give a positive impact on our clients. And we have a clear vision, and we're really excited about it.
Very cool. Very quickly, wanted to ask you, so I mentioned this in the news at the lead off of the show, but last week, Vimeo Live launched. Wanted to get, PJ, your opinion on Vimeo Live.
Okay, well, one just came out last week. We haven't used it yet, but we will. I'm a big fan of Vimeo. We use Vimeo to host a lot of our content. Compression's great. The results in how you upload it are good. The interface is good. I'm a big fan. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see what the gated content has to offer as well.
So gated content, what do you mean by that? Like, what is the value of gated content?
So basically, you could have people pay to see different content that you're producing. Hypothetically, if you were throwing like a workshop or event, or if you wanted to offer something special to your audience, they can do it through that.
Very, very cool. Okay, so now, great answers, by the way. Thank you for all of your insight there. I wanted to sort of change gears a little bit here, and we're going to kick it into what I like to call the speed round. So I've got 10 questions for you. I want you to give me the first answer that comes to your head. Lisa, can we cue the music for the speed round? Okay, we've got the music coming up. So, PJ, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Locked and loaded? Okay. First question, Premiere or Final Cut Pro?
Premiere with Final Cut keys mapped.
Okay. Current favorite camera?
Alexa Mini.
What's the best drone for someone who's just starting out?
I'm a DJI fan, but if you can shoot out of a helicopter, give that a try.
Okay, very cool. What's the best piece of equipment that you could recommend under $500?
Right now, we're using the Epiphan AV.io to stream this with our FS7, and we're using it tonight too. So I'd suggest that.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate the plug there. Facebook Live versus YouTube Live. Which would you choose if you had to choose one?
They both have their strengths depending on what audience you're trying to capture. For what we use it for right now, Facebook Live is my preference.
What's a digital trend that you see that's maybe a little bit slow to take off?
I thought VR would take off a little bit faster, but as we see technology increase for creators, that will take off a lot faster.
Okay. What's your current favorite video site for consuming content yourself?
YouTube.
YouTube, great. So we're actually streaming to YouTube right now. We'll check in with our audience there in just a moment. But I wanted to ask you as well, still in the speed round, what's your favorite show that you're watching right now?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, good choice. Best YouTube channel or Facebook page that you recently discovered?
Check out YouTube Spotlight, all your favorite creators in one spot.
Okay, cool, I'll have to look at that. And finally, best new daddy tip.
You're not a coach, you're there for support.
Okay, excellent. And that concludes the speed round. PJ, you did great. Thanks for those answers right off the top. Wanted to just kick it back to our audience. If any of you have questions for PJ, please don't hesitate. You can jump on to chat and ask PJ questions. We'll check back in just a moment. So, PJ, any final thoughts? You said there's a VR booth behind you. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically we have an Oculus that we're showing a 360 experience on. which is being on top of the CN Tower, which is Toronto's largest structure and tallest structure. But we were the first team to shoot a 360 video on there. So we're displaying that at our event tonight.
Very, very cool. All right, well, PJ, thanks again for being here. I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. I know our audience probably learned a lot from some of your insights, so we'll say so long and see you again soon. Good luck with your event tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, well, that wraps up our guest. So I wanted to remind all of you, if you have any questions for us here on this show, this show does come out live every single Thursday at 3 p.m. And if you want to interact with us, you can connect with us on chat. You can go to our website. We've got the forum, as I mentioned, brand new community forum, epiphan.com/forum. You can also email us live@epiphan.com. And next week, we have another great episode talking about some affordable live streaming equipment. So make sure to check back with us next Thursday at 3 p.m. And I think that'll do it for today. So I'm going to sign off. And from everyone here at Epiphan, thanks for joining us. So long.